Hi, I'm Eric Franklin with your Garrison Public Affairs Office, and on this week's episode, we talk how you can spot and help defend against anti-terrorism. That and more on this great big podcast.
Hey everyone, Specialist Garrett Dacko with 11th Signal Brigade here, and today we actually have a couple special guests from upstairs with our Force Protection Office. Would y'all please introduce yourselves?
My name is Victor Haig. I'm from the DPTMS Force Protection Branch.
And what does DTPMS stand for again?
It is Directorate of Plans, Training, Mobilization, and Security.
That is a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, well, I'm Willie Miller, and I'm also from the Force Protection Office. I get to be the deputy for the chief there, and hey, I'm happy to be here today with the team.
All right. Well, we're happy to have both of y'all here today.
So, first off, let's talk about you guys. You guys both are veterans. You guys are both prior service. What was your life before deciding that you want to come work for Force Protection?
Hey, well, I started off in the Army as an engineer, believe it or not.
Okay.
Combat engineer. So my knowledge of force protection, anti-terrorism was kind of limited back in the day. You do your annual training.
Yeah.
I know that we put out some barriers to stop the bad guy. That's the only thing I knew about anti-terrorism. And then I transitioned into the operation. And then when I got into operations, I started to get a better understanding what anti-terrorism meant to the Army and protecting our force, and got an opportunity to see the bigger picture. Really enjoyed that a lot. And then so back in about a year, May of 2021, I joined the Force Protection team.
Okay. And for you, Victor?
I'm a retired logistics NCO for 20 years in the Army. Basically making sure the supplies got to the soldiers that needed it. And what got me interested in it is when I retired from the Army, I saw a job posting for a security specialist, and I figured I was pretty good at doing that kind of stuff, being in the Army with my background. And then I took a couple security engineering courses, and I'm really, by trade, I'm a backyard mechanic and an engineer, so I can figure out how things go together and how they come apart. And then I just added that security engineering piece to it to figure out how do I protect it and make sure that bad things don't happen to the good people of Fort Hood. And a lot of great people working in the Force Protection Office with me taught me a lot of things when I first started. So I'm just trying to get better every day, and everybody I meet, I learn from.
Okay. So. You had mentioned, Willie, that before, when you were in the Army and you were going through the classes, you really didn't see the big picture of anti-terrorism. And just now, for both of you, for now being able to see that from the bigger picture, from the total force out, or the bigger picture of it, how is that?
Man, that's an excellent point. So, being a private in the Army, and you don't understand all the pieces as they come together, from the people at the gate to the force protection truck that's driving around, and looking to see if your hedges are too close, your trash can too close to the building. These are things that we don't even think about on a day-to-day basis. Mm-hmm. But when you get into force protection and you really start peeling that onion back, and say, hey, it is an awful lot that goes into protecting the force. Why do I have to take this doggone cyber awareness class every year? You know what I mean? Everybody hates that cyber awareness class that we take every year, but it protects our infrastructure for communications, right? And protect us. So when you start zooming in and you're getting that micro view on things, it makes it even better. Love it.
Okay. You guys had mentioned the cyber awareness training. I know one of the big things is phishing, and up until about 5 or 6 years ago, whenever I heard phishing, I would always thinking like, oh, I'm going fishing in the lake. But it's so much more than that, and I know that's not really you guys's your office's lane, but it does play into the bigger part of keeping everyone safe. And how does all the different sections come together to make to make the force protection stronger?
So So one of the things that we do is monthly we bring together what we call our threat fusion cell. And we bring that cell together. It integrates the 13 pillars, your anti-terrorism guys, your OPSEC, your cybersecurity, your physical security guys. So all of these guys come together. And when I say guys, I mean guys and gals. We come together to, kind of wrap our head around some of the threats and the indicators that are out there in our community so we can make sure we keep our teammates safe.
And another thing that we do on a monthly basis is we do a protection working group where we bring in all the anti-terrorism officers in on a monthly meeting, and we put out any information that needs to be put out as far as the protection to the installation, anything that needs to be, watched or monitored. That way we can mitigate anything down to the lowest level to protect us. So through these information processes and with the 12 pillars, we are able to protect the installation. And if there's anything that needs to change or anything that needs to be mitigated to the lower level, we can do that.
So I just had a quick question for those soldiers at the lowest level. Sometimes for many different reasons, the information may not get to them. Is there a resource that they can kind of go to get that information?
Yes, we have on Teams, we have an ATO portal that we can go to as well through our ATOs. And when I say ATO, I'm talking anti-terrorism officer for their unit. So they can go to that officer in their unit. And we encourage those officers to always make sure that they disseminate all the information, either all the way up and all the way down. We can't be everywhere, but eyes and ears of everyone together, then we can protect ourselves. So what we do is every August, we do ATO Awareness Month, Antiterrorism Awareness Month. And what we do is we put on a number of classes at the House Auditorium and via MS Teams. And when I say various classes, we're talking Antiterrorism Level 1 course. We do cyber awareness. We also do TARP. We do physical security. We do OPSEC training, and then we'll throw in another little class maybe on something as far as like security for the base or drone security. But what we're trying to do is get the message out that these are things that we need to be aware of. These are things that we need to watch out for. And how can you protect yourselves, your family, and your friends, and everybody that's in your world? And this happens every month, and we usually do it every Tuesday in August, and we'll be sending out flyers. And it's via MS Teams, and you can get some great training.
One of the things that Vic mentioned was that we might increase the force protection, so that random anti-terrorism measures. Those are, we believe that is the number one thing to help us protect against a terrorist attack. That would engage and inform communities. So we use those two factors to pull that together. So I know everybody, when they have delays at the gate and they can't get in, they backed all the way up. But we are just really trying to keep the force, keep our family members and our soldiers and our retirees on the installation safe.
And another note to that, I'd just like to throw in as part of our job, force protection-wise, is so like when you go to the commissaries or you go to the PX or you go to the hospital, these are buildings that have a large amount of people in them. And, you wonder, why do you got to park so far away? It's not because force protection wants you to get in good shape and walk. It's because what we're trying to do is make sure that nothing bad happens to the people inside. So we push parking farther away. That way nothing can be exploited. No threats can be exploited or any vulnerabilities can be exploited. So we push the parking farther away, make sure the windows are blast resistant, and things like that. So if something was to happen, there would be less loss of life or injuries.
So you guys mentioned, Willie, you mentioned earlier a few moments ago about perceived delays at the gate. So when I'm coming through the gate, or when someone's coming through the gate and they think, "Oh, we're under force protection Bravo," tell us a little bit about what that means.
So that is an excellent question. So FPCon Bravo, Force Protection Condition Bravo, just basically, so they have a baseline, normal all the way through Delta, and so Bravo is the FPCon that we're currently at, and there's certain conditions that are involved in that. Well, sometimes they have what they call FP Bravo 1 Bravo. And that is basically saying they have a 100% identification card check at the gate. So these are the things that help us determine whether we have somebody trying to get in the gate that does not have access to the installation. The other part of that, when you scan your ID card, that's why I love our DES partners. When they get to scan the ID card, they can tell if you have outstanding warrants or things like that. So we have some bad actors trying to get on that installation, they'll be able to detect that.
So what you're telling me, if I'm ever in the car and I'm going through the gate and I hear that I'm in trouble. My day has gone bad.
Well, I won't say that, but yeah, you might have to.
Some additional questions are going to be asked.
You might have to pull over to the big white tent over there.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I know a lot of times talking with soldiers, and I talk with Special DAC out here, we'll talk about like, oh man, I had so much time get a hard time to get into the gate. Then sometimes it's easy, and it's not because there's anything going on. It's just that's how they're. Now we know. Now we can, when we sit back and Sam or someone else says that, we can like, hey, well, we just talked to the guys, so we know that they're keeping us safe. It seems chaotic to us, but it's not. Like I think it's a well-oiled machine, and from what you say, it's like they know what they're doing. So it's like it seems outside looking in, it seems weird, but it's a 4 point.
It's interesting that you say that outside looking in, because that's really what our random anti-terrorism measures are designed to do. The outside looking in. If I'm a nefarious character and I'm watching the gate and I notice it's pretty easy to go through, I'm just going to drive up there. But if I notice all of a sudden one day, hey, wait a minute, they're pulling this car over to look inside the trunk, and I'm going to say to myself probably, that is a hard target, not a soft target. So I'm going to turn around and maybe not try to get in or do anything nefarious. So that's what we're trying to do, is break up the normal routine from outside looking in so that our vulnerabilities, they're not exploited in any way, shape, or form.
Right. And on that point, too, I remember I was coming home late one day. I think I was traveling, and I was coming up to the gate maybe 2 a.m., like super late. Nobody, maybe 2 other cars at the gate. And it was 100% like inspection. Yeah, like they're like, hey, turn off your car, open the glove. And I'm like sitting there and I'm like, it's 2 a.m. Like they're like, open your trunk. And I'm like, I've never been at the gate. Like usually it's the white tent, but I've random checks, but I've never been at the gate when they did that. But I do kind of have that, that mindset of like, okay, there's a reason they're doing this. Like there has to be a reason. They're not just like, hey, 2 a.m., let's have some fun with these characters.
Yeah.
Like, no, they're like, there is always a reason that they're
and
doing
they
these
do
checks.
things like that in the evening time too, because the traffic patterns are slower,
Right.
and that way they can be more methodical in their random anti-terrorism measures.
Okay. I know you guys, every quarter you guys have a message that you want to put out. What if there's one thing that you could tell us, or that could sum up what you want us to pay attention to, or what you think the focus should be when it comes to anti-terrorism, what would be that one focus for this quarter?
If I had to focus in on one thing, I would just say risk management and engagement. So we can really manage our risk by being thoroughly engaged about what's going on. See something, say something. If something out of place, don't feel ashamed, don't feel nervous about reporting it to someone. Make sure we stay engaged 100%.
Okay.
Like if you're coming in the gate and you see that same white van parked there every day, I'm just using that as an example, and it's better to call it in and say, that's been there a while, and have it be something that, oh yeah, it's a repairman fixing, than it be something that's nefarious.
Yeah.
It's better to be safe than sorry.
Outside of soldiers going to their unit's anti-terrorism officer, where else can soldiers and the units go to find out information about anti-terrorism?
Well, you can also go to the Army, U.S. Army Northcom website. It talks about force protection conditions.
Okay.
It'll spell out, which ones we are in, for Army North.
Okay.
And so they can go there. We also have what we call an ATEP, Army Terrorism enterprise program website that you can go to that also has training material, active shooter videos and things like that they can get information from. Right now, as of today, we don't have a website here on Fort Hood.
Okay.
But we are definitely trying to get that established. We're in the process of being able to say, hey, a soldier can go out here and report something. They don't have to call a number. They don't have to call 2880 cops. They can go into that website off their phone and be able to submit that. So we're working on that in the back channels, and it's coming soon.
Okay. All right. Well, that's great. We appreciate you guys coming in and talking with us. And we will look forward to August for the Antiterrorism Month. Is there anything else that you guys would like to share before we guys get out of here?
Well, I just want to throw one plug out there for my cohort over here, that Victor Haig. He's put on, he's brought in 3 MTTs that's coming in to get our anti-terrorism officers trained on Fort Hood to make sure we stay safe. We have one going on 20 through 24 March. So if you have any units out there that don't have ATOs that are currently trained, we want to try to get them in these classes. And if they don't get in the March one, we have one in May and September. So if you guys you're out there and you're not trained and you need the training, just contact Mr. Victor Haig or Miss Nia Payne, and we'll get you guys in the course and get us trained up.
And what is your guys' office number?
254-286-5376 or 288-6466.
All right. And that's it. We like to thank you guys for coming out and hanging out with us and talking with us for a few minutes.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having us. Hey, it was a great time with you guys.
It was a pleasure having y'all. Thanks.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, great place. This is Candace Walesi. I'm your Fort Hood Army Fisher House manager. And I just want to let you know that if you're looking for opportunities for volunteerism, donations, or even if you need our services, we are located at 36015 Santa Fe Avenue, right across from Cardamsey. And if you need to get in touch with us, please reach out at 254-338-6521.
What is life? An honorable discharge sounds disgusting. Where'd my fire? Which end of the horse do I stick the carrot in?
Sporky asks a question.
I don't know. Hey, everybody. Sporky here, and I've got a big question. What is OPSEC?
Fork utensil. How is it that you don't know about operational security?
Annie Pumpkin. No need to be so formal. You can call me Sporky. All my friends do. And I know all about Operational Poo-Poo-Poo. But what is OPSEC?
Operational security's OPSEC, fork utensil.
Ooh, maybe it's OPSEC. That's spicy. Where do babies come from?
Fork utensil.
It must have something to do with the military and things. I know. I'll take pictures of stuff all over post and put them on the internet and ask, is this OPSEC? Is this OPSEC?
Fork utensil,
Ooh,
you
it
better
sure
not.
smells like OPSEC.
Look, there are 5 steps to OPSEC.
Oh.
Identifying critical information, identifying the threat,
Yeah.
assessing vulnerabilities,
Oh, yeah.
analyzing the risk,
Okay.
and developing and applying countermeasures.
What?
The
No.
OPSEC is pretty common sense, like not talking about troop movements or other sensitive things.
You mean it's a process by which organizations assess and protect information about things that could, if properly analyzed and grouped with other data by a clever adversary, reveal a bigger picture that ought to stay hidden.
That's exactly right, fork thingy.
Forky.
And like they used to say, loose lips sink ships.
Ooh, I love a good submarine joke, but seriously, where do babies come from?
Oh my goodness gracious.
Practicing good OPSEC is everybody's job. Protect your fellow service members. Don't be a sporky.
Yeah, I knew there was a reason behind always having all that traffic on post some day, getting on post some days and then some days it's different. I now know that it's part of force protection. I know it's not just people just taking their time up there. So
No, they're trying to keep us safe.
Yeah, and I think once the AT office, the anti-terrorism office, gets their website up and running, locally. I think it's going to be a great resource for soldiers, family members, and DA civilians, and everyone who comes and goes on Fort Hood to get those much needed resources for them. Speaking of resources, Fort Hood Family MWR has some great stuff going on over the next couple of days. Are you over the next couple of weeks, actually, just to start off? First off, do you know how to swim?
I do know how to swim.
Oh,
yes.
Well, here's something for you. I can swim a little bit. I'm more of a water buffalo. You may be more of a fish.
I grew up in California. I am part fish.
See, so this may help you out. It's not going to help me because I'm going to sink. But they have lifeguard classes starting later on this month. So if you want to be a lifeguard, you can go help out, and you can get a side job saving lives at a lifeguard.
Okay.
Not really saving lives, but watching over people.
Well, you never know.
You never know. Yeah. It's always good to have. And again, Fort Hood Family MWR, they also have the Ben Hogan Classic. Sign up tomorrow. It starts tomorrow. You have to be there. Sign up starts at 10 o'clock, but you have to be there because there's always going to be a line there. That's going to actually happen. The Ben Hogan Classic is actually going to start the 31st of March, and they're also going to have a kids camp the very next day. So make sure you sign up for that tomorrow. And also happening tomorrow, they have a FMWR is going to have a murder mystery dinner play.
Ooh,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I've been on one. It was more like on a train. We were kids, but it's fun. I like anything that has theatrics to it.
Yeah.
Like it's the best part.
A little mystery behind it. Yeah,
just a little something, little razzmatazz to it. Yeah, it's always fun. I think that's pretty much the next closest thing. Those 3 events are happening like soon, like in the next, right now. So you got to get hot on those and make sure you get there. And the lifeguard classes, they have their next one next week. So not next week, later on this month. I'm not for sure. I'll have the exact dates in the show notes, but they have their next lifeguard class the 13th to the 16th, I believe it is. But it's coming up. Make sure you check the Fort Hood Family MWR site for the latest information, because I think they have several classes coming up this month as well as next month. Wow, it's almost summertime, so that means we're getting ready for the pools to be open because people are getting lifeguard certified. It seems like it was just yesterday we were talking about. It's February is over. It seems like February just started.
I remember talking about the freeze at the beginning of February.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And now it's hot. It's like 90 degrees out.
That's so I got in my car today to go eat lunch, and it said it was 92 degrees outside. I think that's just my car, but still, nonetheless, I think my car is a little off, but still, nonetheless, to the beginning of this month, for it to be freezing, to now my car saying, hey, it's 91 degrees outside.
We need some more coolant.
Yeah. So it's hot. It's like, what is it? May springs, being spring, and April brings showers, and I don't like. The summer's here,
and then June brings
hot.
Yeah, just hot.
That's the only way you can describe Texas weather.
It's hot.
Oh, well, that's all that we have. Be sure that you stay tuned after the credits so you can check out. It's Blair and Sam's book and movie of the month. So make sure you check that out. And we like to thank you guys for listening in. You guys stay safe, and we hope to hear you back, or hope for you to hear us back here next week.
Y'all take care.
Bye.
This podcast is a U.S. Army Garrison Fort Hood and Fort Hood Public Affairs production. The show's theme music is written and produced by Delicious All-Stars. All our music is obtained through Filter by Songtrader. Have a question or want to share some insights with us? Email us at FortHoodPAO@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at USAG Fort Hood. And as always, be sure to leave a review and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
We want to let you know that there are no spoilers for either the book or movie of the month, so please enjoy the segment. All right, it is time for Book and Movie of the Month. This is Samantha Harms with the Garrison Public Affairs Office.
And this is Blair Dupree with the Fort Hood Sentinel.
Yay. We're back for another Book and Movie of the Month, obviously.
Yes.
So very exciting. Let's get right into it. So the book that I did last month, so I think I said this last time, was that going forward I'd only be doing one book, right?
Yeah.
I said that?
Yeah.
So the book that I featured for last month is Girls They Write Songs About. It's by Charlene Bauer. It is a newly arrived book at the Casey Memorial Library, which is why I decided to cover it. It came out in June of 2020, so just June of last year. Like I said, newly arrived. This is Bauer's second novel that she's written. And Girls I Write Songs About is about a female friendship. It is about two women. They start working at a magazine together. One of them is a writer. One of them is an editor. And they bond over past experiences and their writing. And it's really a testament to female friendships and how they can grow and change throughout life, just in general. The way that the book is marketed is absolutely... I mean, they've done a great job marketing it. It's set in New York City, 1997. The ambition that they have for their lives and for work, they both really want to be successful businesswomen, career women, which gives them another like fire. It brings them together in a way that no other friendship has or relationship has in a way. So they go through everything together: parties, one-night stands, marriage, motherhood, divorce, career highs, career lows, everyday relationship choices, and just everyday life choices, money management, lifestyle, and all the widespread thing that is life, essentially. For me, the best aspect of the entire novel was the way that it called me to question my own friendships and how they've changed over the years, or college friends who I may not speak to as much anymore, work colleagues that have turned into friendships and they've moved and we no longer speak, or friendships that I've had and maintained with women since college and women I know still from high school and all of that. It really made me think about how we interact with each other and how powerful that can be for one another. And it also, the bottom line, of course, is going to be that, not every friendship will last a lifetime, but despite efforts to make that happen, but they'll always still have that impact on you. So the book is written from one of the two women's point of view from the entire time. And most of this is written as she is reflecting on her life, looking back, thinking about her life, thinking about all the memories she has, and thinking about her friend, because they don't speak anymore. So they kind of build up to, why they've chosen to not speak anymore and what's happened since. And I don't know. Overall, I thought the book was just fine. This is, I think, the first time I've ever not had a glowing review for a book.
Yeah, because even you just kind of talking about it now, but you said it was meh.
It's just fine. It wasn't a bad book. But it just wasn't my favorite book, I guess. And I don't know, I feel kind of guilty in some weird way that I'm not giving a glowing review, because up until now I've given always glowing reviews of books. I think overall it's 3 out of 5 stars, to be totally honest. Charlotte, who's the main point of view from the novel, she just talks in this way that is kind of aggravating. She reflects on a lot of things and is just like, oh, you know, I did it this way, or I made these choices, but what if I had made a different choice? And in the beginning, that's fine. You know, you're reflecting as 20, 30-year-old woman, 40-year-old woman, but now she's older and she's just like, oh, well, you know, what if I had made a different choice when I was 20? At some point, you just gotta like
accept
the choices that you have made. And like, I understand the what ifs, you know, everyone does that. I do it. I'm sure you do it.
Yes.
Everyone does. That's totally natural.
Yeah.
But to write a, you know, 150 page book, just basically the entire time being
saying,
like,
what if?
Yeah. Honey, just be comfortable, accept the choices that you made and just live your life as such. I don't know. I think in the beginning it's fine to do that, but eventually, like, she had these moments where it was like she was very clearly like, I am comfortable with what I've done, like the choices I made. This other person and I are choosing to no longer speak to one another, and I miss them, but I'm not going to reach out to them because of X, Y, and Z. It's like, great. Okay, great. Yeah. So you seem comfortable. But then the very next chapter, she comes back and is like, just kidding. Like, I wish I had the guts or the balls to like call her, and I wish that I had the guts to say the things that I wanted to say back then.
Yeah.
So you still could.
Yeah.
You could still call her if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
You know, just because you're not friends anymore doesn't mean you couldn't become friends again, because you were friends for so long.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So
that's funny because I just recently connected with a college friend. So
see, there you go. Yeah, it's possible to have it happen. And then the other problem that I had too was that Charlotte will tell about, like, she talks about these stories of things that she did, and she's like, oh, you know, we went to this party with these people, like word for word, she will say, we went to this party with these people at this place, and a bunch of things happened. Mm-hmm. And then I left, and then the next morning I woke up, and then this crazy thing happened. And you're like, okay. And then she's like, and then my friend and I left, and we dished about it the whole time. And you're like, well, what happened? What was the thing? No, she like leaves out details. And usually I'm not a details person.
Yeah.
But for once in my life, I was like, what are you talking about?
Well, I mean, she's introducing some source of tension.
Right.
You know, so you want to know.
So you want to know what it is.
Yeah.
And so I understand. The thing I got from reading it was that she was trying, like the actual writer was trying to like not talk so much about like the little things, but rather keep it focused on the overall like broader message.
Yeah. And
their overall friendship. But it was just like, I guess it could work maybe once, maybe twice, but to do it several times, at that point, you're just like, okay, I feel like I'm missing details, you know? Yeah. Or if it's important enough to bring up like vague things.
Like it makes you think it had something to do, that it like affected their relationship in some way.
Yeah, it makes you like question, okay, why even put this in there at all?
Yeah.
Why not just say like, oh, we went out to a party and then we talked about it the next morning. Yeah. Instead of saying, oh, we went to this party with these famous people at this famous location. Mm-hmm. And you've probably heard of it, but I'm not going to tell you anything else. You're like, okay, that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a personal thing, I guess.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's just, you know, those were my two, like, little turnoffs from this novel. The writing was well done for outside of the weird details about random things.
Yeah.
Other than that, Bauer has great writing. I think I would read something from her again, maybe the first novel she wrote. And just because it's not my personal cup of tea doesn't mean it won't be somebody else's, obviously. So yeah, I think if someone was like, hey, do you like this book? I'd say, yeah, it was fine. I don't know if I would necessarily recommend it, but I definitely would not recommend it, you know? Yeah. So
okay.
Those are my feelings.
Cool.
Yeah. So the book again is Girls They Write Songs About by Charlene Bauer for people who are here at Fort Hood. It is available at the library, of course, and also available at major booksellers for people who aren't.
Perfect.
Yes. Okay. So that's my part. So tell us about your movies.
So we'll talk about 80 for Brady first if we want to talk about women not asking what if and just doing it.
Going for it.
Yeah.
The complete opposite of what I just talked about.
Yes. So there's 4 elderly women. One wants to clarify that she is over 70, not over 80. Just to be clear,
Okay.
3 of them are over 80.
Oh, okay.
But not this one. So, but they are huge Tom Brady and Patriots fans at the time. So they decide one year that they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I think it was Super Bowl 51.
Okay.
That was in Houston. So they go.
Okay.
And lots of crazy things happen while they're there. I mean, anything that you can imagine they could get possibly involved in. That's crazy. They get involved in. So they wind up being backup dancers at one point.
Nice.
Or claiming they're backup dancers.
Oh, of course. Me too.
I mean, if anyone had great luck in this world, it's these 4 women because they just make it happen. But it was really funny. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was funny. At the end, Tom Brady does have some screen time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he does not need to. This is not his next career move
at all. Okay.
I mean, it was cute. This movie for me was kind of like the wholesome, oh, this is so cute, and it's based off of a real life story of 4 elderly women who made it to the Super Bowl to watch Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah, I love that. Tom Brady's got fans at all ages. Good for him.
Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, it was super cute, and it made me smile. It wasn't like anything life changing necessarily, but it just made me happy.
Yeah. Sometimes that's all you can ask of a movie.
And I didn't watch the Super Bowl, so this was
so this was your Super Bowl. Yeah, essentially.
Pretty much.
Was there any actual football in the movie?
Actually, at the end, this is a complaint. They obviously it's a game that's already happened.
Right.
It was a big game because they went into overtime.
Oh, okay.
And it was, it was a big game. But so there's a lot of football, just clips at the end, kind of when the game's happening, when it's not really necessary, and it definitely was there to pad the runtime.
Oh,
because this movie isn't. I feel like the average runtime for movies now is 2 hours.
Yeah, definitely.
This was an hour and a half.
Oh wow, yes.
Yeah, so it was short and to the point. So
interesting.
Yeah, it was definitely there to pad runtime, but other than that, it was cute. I liked it a lot.
Oh, okay.
So
great.
I recommend it.
How many stars?
I'd say 3.5 or 4.
3.5 or 4. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right. So that was 80 for Brady.
Yeah.
Okay. What's our second movie?
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man. Yes.
So this is the 3rd installment. In the Ant-Man solo films. He's been in other films in the Marvel Universe.
I thought it was the second for some reason.
No.
Oh boy.
Well, I'm sorry. This is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I need to not leave the Wasp out. I apologize. But yeah, this is the 3rd movie with the star as Ant-Man.
And the Wasp.
And the Wasp, yes. She didn't have a thing in the title in the first one. Yeah, she didn't exist yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but
so wait, the Wasp is a woman?
Yes.
And the Ant-Man is a man?
Yes.
Right, okay. I just got to clarify.
Yes. Yes. So this is post-in-game. Scott Lang, our star, is living his best life. He, is recognized by people around the town that he lives in because he is an Avenger. So everyone greets him happily.
Ant-Man? This is
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man. Okay. I just
sorry.
No, yes. I don't know anybody. So yeah, that got clarified.
Yes, Scott Lang is Ant-Man.
Okay, thank you.
So, people know him and all that, and he's happy. He's written a book. He is doing readings and stuff for that. So
is this a thing? Well, this is a weird side note. Is that a thing that like all the Avengers have done, where they
Written a book.
they like write books and go on like press tours?
I wish. No.
It's just him. He's just like over enthusiastic about being an Avenger.
Well, he just wrote about his experience. I don't know if he was just trying to capitalize on it or if he just wanted to share his story. And like, you know, Ant-Man's not the favorite superhero in the universe. He's, you know, like people in the real world kind of just dog on him because, you know, he's kind of goofy and he's a single dad and he's a, you know, whatever. So
he's an Ant-Man.
Yeah, he kind of just gets dogged on.
Yeah.
But so I think they just kind of like the writers of the actual movie kind of just capitalized on his kind of awkwardness and his more like, I'm not like the macho superhero.
Right. I'm not like the Hulk, you know? Like, okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So he's touring, or not touring, but he's doing readings for his book and all of that, which actually, this is my side note, I think they actually wrote a physical book.
Did
that
they?
is his book that you can actually buy.
Oh my God,
in
I
real
love
life.
that. I love that. I love when they use books in movies that are like actual books, because so often they're just like, you see people reading in movies and you're like, oh, what's that book? And it's never real. It's super annoying.
Yeah.
So I love that. That's amazing.
I'm pretty sure it's real because when they were like, they used it as like a marketing thing. They were like, no, for real, this is a real book.
This is what you can actually buy and read this.
I did not go verify any of
love
this,
that.
but you know, they pushed it really hard. So I'm going to
hopefully it is real.
It's real.
Somebody write in and tell us if it's real.
Yes. But while he's been doing this, his daughter, who is now significantly older because of the kind of time jump that people experienced from in-game, has been working with the Wasp and Hank Pym, who is the Wasp's dad.
Okay.
The Wasp's name is Hope, by the way.
Hope.
We're
Thank
just
you.
going to go with
Yeah,
that.
that's fine.
She's been working with Hope and Dr. Pym, and they've created a communication device, a satellite that can look into the quantum realm.
Okay.
So basically, just to
this
explain
is
what
the
that
part
is to
where
you.
I am like, whoop, I'm done.
The quantum realm is like, because Ant-Man can shrink, right?
Oh, okay.
And
he can become an ant.
so,
This is a weird, honest question because I don't. What is Ant-Man's powers? I don't understand.
He doesn't physically become an ant.
Oh, he just becomes as
He
small
becomes
as an ant.
as small as an ant. He can control ants. Dr. Pym has created a technology that he can control the ants and what they do.
Okay.
Ant-Man can also grow very large.
Oh.
So yeah, like
that is
stories,
very
stories
shocking.
tall.
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
We're just gonna go with it.
Yes. So,
I think if I saw a giant ant that
Yes.
was stories tall, that would be it. I'd be like, all right, whatever you want. You're in charge.
Exactly.
That's weird. Okay. Anyway, so they create some sort of communication device.
Yes, to the quantum realm, which if you Ant-Man, it's possible for him to shrink beyond the size of an ant.
Oh, okay.
Which if you shrink too much, you get into the quantum realm.
Oh.
So it's like a little universe, just super, super small to the point where to us it wouldn't exist.
Right.
So, what was her name? I don't remember. I'm horrible.
That's okay.
Dr. Pym's wife was trapped in the quantum realm.
Oh, okay.
For, I think they said 30 years.
Oh, that's a long time.
And they've recently gotten her out. So when they found out that they were communicating or could send a signal into the quantum realm, she kind of panicked. And was like, you didn't tell me about this. Why are you doing this? You know, whatever. So she goes to turn it off because they're showing everyone what it can do. And it malfunctions. It turns into a portal and they all get sucked into the quantum realm.
Oh.
So while they're there, this is the meat of the story, so I won't go into too many details. Right. But lots of stuff happens. Kang the Conqueror is introduced. He's the next kind of like Thanos of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, from what I understand. So the next big bad guy that the Avengers are going to eventually work up to fighting several years from now. But I like his character a lot. Jonathan Majors is a phenomenal actor, and I think, like, I'm super excited to see what they do with the character.
Yeah.
Moving on, Kang was introduced in the Loki series before, but watch this movie. It'll explain more of his character. They really kind of flesh him out here. So there is a character, a little like alien-like little creature named Veb, and he is my favorite, and I love him to death. He's so strange and so funny. When he runs around, he runs like Woody from Toy Story.
Nice.
It's the same exact motion, and I love him to death. So this is the darkest movie of the 3 Ant-Man movies. There is still some humor. Some humor was nailed a little bit too hard on the head, so that made it not funny.
Yeah.
But like it definitely has a darker tone compared to the other two. It's definitely not the darkest MCU movie.
Yeah.
But that's there. One other complaint that me and lots of other people have, let me make sure I get his name right. They made this character. Have you watched the Puss in Boots movie? Not the new one, the old one.
No, I only watched the Shreks.
Okay, well,
that's Puss in Boots is from Shrek, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Yes. I watched the first Shrek and the second Shrek. And I saw Puss in Boots, but I never saw his own, because I know they did his own movie afterwards. I never saw that.
Okay. So this character, MODOK, he's basically a floating head.
Okay.
Who, and he has a big fan base from the comics, from what I understand.
Oh, okay.
And the way they made him look was not good. They were very lazy with this. So I'm showing her a picture.
Yes.
So in the Puss in Boots movie, there's Humpty Dumpty, like the egg.
Okay.
That's what the egg looks like. And then this is from the actual movie.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you know what this kind of reminds me of too is Spy Kids.
Yes.
They have that floating.
George Lopez's character.
George Lopez's character has a ginormous head at some point in the movie. Yes, that's exactly what I'm picturing. It is literally a head inside of like a weird metal machine type kind of a body thing, but like human head. Yeah, that's strange.
His
I don't
whole,
like that.
Yeah, and
see, when you said a floating head, like I was picturing like a ghost type floating head.
No,
that's not that at all.
I wish it was a ghost floating head.
I was like, all right, I could get behind that, but that's weird.
They didn't really take much inspiration from the comics when it actually came to not so much what the suit or whatever you want to call it that he's in, but like the way he looks. I don't know if it's because he's a reference to a character from one of the other Ant-Man movies or something. There's a tie there, so I don't know if they were too scared to like make him look too much different or something. But the whole time he was on the screen, I was just like, that's Humpty Dumpty from
I would be
Boots,
distracted the entire time.
So it was I mean, it was kind of funny at first, but then the more he came on, I was like, I can't take you seriously.
I can't
You're
do
not
this anymore.
Scary to me.
Yeah, no, that's.
Yeah,
I just want to like laugh and be like, "What is this?"
It's like I'm not threatened by this.
No, definitely not. No.
I felt the ending maybe was a little rushed, but other than that, I'm super excited. I think they set up Kang really well. So, and since they're, probably going to move forward with him, that's probably the best thing they could have focused on. But, I'm excited to kind of see where it goes from here.
That's great. I love that. Okay. How many stars?
I would give it a 4 or 4.5.
Okay, I love that. Well, I am looking forward to hearing about more Marvel movies in the future that I still won't understand, but I'm trying really hard.
Did I explain it okay?
You did. You did a
Okay,
great
good.
job. Yes.
Cool.
I still don't understand Ant-Man and why you would call him Ant-Man if he doesn't turn into an ant, but that is for another time. I don't get it, but that's neither here nor there. Blair, thank you for coming on the podcast. I'm thanking myself because I'm not on anymore.
Yeah. I'll thank you.
Oh,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Because it is my place to thank you. For
Yes,
coming
it is. All right, that's it. We're done. We will see you guys in a month.
All right.